The Gen 4 cars in full effect at the Rockingham Speedway. The defending champion, Jacob Bradley, has control of the field. He's going to be sitting alongside Aaron Edwards in the number 15 Unified Machine. Round number 2 of the 11th campaign of Thursday Night Thunder about to get going. Mooresville, Indiana's Jacob Bradley leads us to the line, and we're racing. Clean and green through lap number 1, and immediately we have a new leader, Aaron Edwards, in the number 15 Unified Machine on the outside, racing for Delta Sport. I believe it's called Delta Sport. We'll get to them in just a moment here. The Henrico, Virginia native now sits in front of the defending champion, Jacob Bradley, with Matt Seeger by his side. And I'm not alone in this booth by my side. From just down the street in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, last week's winner, and technically speaking, our points leader, Ryan Pennell, in the booth. Ryan, Welcome to your home track, my friend, and congratulations on last week's win.
Thanks. Yeah, it's nice to be the points leader after one race, but yeah, we had fun and we got the win, so it's always good to be at my home track.
Buddy, I didn't even expect you in this race. I expected you up here in the
Yeah,
booth with me, man. But hey, you're turning laps. You're having fun. We'll let you get to work here and keep on going. Thanks for talking to us.
thanks, buddy.
I'm going to be 100% honest, and he's going to find this out later. I completely forgot that he was going to be in the booth. I saw him on the track, and I was just excited for one because Ryan's kind of a super speedway guy, and he's the number 1.5 here in the booth. And he does a great job up here with me, but it's good to see him on the racetrack. Our defending champion doing well. Matt Seeger behind him, and the Delta Sport cars are starting to line up 1-2. Let's go on board with the Georgian in the 16. So we're mentioning the Delta Sport drivers, and there's 3 of them in the TNT roster this season. You're looking at 2 of them right here in Aaron Edwards and Matt Seeger. Edwards in the 15, Seeger in the 16, running 2nd and 3rd respectively. Ethan Winters running in the 15th position. He's in the number 10 Blue Unified machine. Now, Ethan actually brought this to my attention that Seeger, Edwards, and Ethan Winters himself are all racing for a program called Delta Sport. Now, this Delta Sport program is an iRacing team that's mainly focused on road, but now diving into oval driving as well. They're going to be, Delta Sport themselves and the unified cars are going to be riding along with Ethan Winters, Matt Seeger, and Aaron Edwards. Back to the race for the lead. So far, it's Bradley in firm control. Delta Sport gives the drivers a kickback for representing them, and it's similar. Delta Sport, they're similar to a team like Redline or William Esports, but a somewhat more humble scale. They have competed in the televised top splits of the Sebring 24 and the Daytona 24 as well. A notable former member of the Delta Sport driving team is Connor Zillage. Now they plan to get into oval racing to expand their horizon and hopefully provide a program that can help lead these drivers down the road into the Pro Series or the Coke Series, or just become a better oval driver in general. Delta Sport provides the drivers with free setups through a business account through the McConey shop and free professional level paint schemes as well as cars and tracks. They've been around for a few years now, and it's good to see one of these organized iRacing teams in Thursday Night Thunder. In the number 17, sitting ahead of a season favorite, Chuck Sweeting, now running his 2nd season in Thursday Night Thunder. Chuck's the man from Florida in that big pink 5.7, now to the left-hand side of Indiana's Kevin Feemster. Lucky number 13 laps underway. Chucky trying to put the move on the 17. Let's go on board. Matt Seeger on the outside of Season 9, Thursday Night Thunder champion Noah Belleville, and the Missouri driver now trying to get a piece of the Georgian. Belleville in the target 41, trying to get 2 championships in 3 years. Matt Seeger trying to find his first win. Chasing down this guy right here, who's chasing down the defending champion. Jacob Bradley, our pole sitter, and still in firm control of this race. Further on back, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Jeremy Brio, who just decided to slap the wall. As soon as we cut to him, that car is definitely going to be damaged. And Colin McDonough and Cody Pinnell will now take position over the Massachusetts pilot. Kevin Feemster trying to get ever closer to Tom Sears, who is a bit closer to Josh Gaiman. Cade talking about the sound in the cars, how they sound majestic. They do have an amazing sound. I love these cars. I wish they had the sound of almost like the Xfinity cars with the X-pipes, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, all of that. Sears in the 14 chasing down this guy right here, Josh Gaiman, in the 6-1. The DeWalt machine running in 8th behind Brooklyn's Nick Pressey, who's up 3 places from where he started, chasing down this guy, Evan Pienta, in the number 5-4 from Lambertville, Michigan. Incorrectly numbered, by the way. It says 5-5. We'll get that fixed here in just a moment. He sits behind one of Greensburg, Kentucky's finest. Briley Wright in the number 3, the classic Dale Earnhardt machine. With the rookie behind him, this is his first Thursday Night Thunder start, and the lovely incorrectly numbered 5 now tries to make his move on Briley Wright. Noah Belleville has worked his way up to the 3rd position, getting around Matt Seeger. He finds himself almost 2 seconds behind Aaron Edwards in the 15, still holding on strong to the race leader, Jacob Bradley, by the way. Just beautiful effort thus far. You got to say, it's pretty impressive, just considering the dominance that Jacob Bradley had put on the competition last season, but he's doing an exceptional job. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat so far. Grand Theft Auto Addict cheering on for Noah Belleville, who's running in 3rd right now. Miss Moneypenny, who's also cheering for Noah Belleville. They're a fan of the Season 9 champion. Matt Seeger's got fans in Emily Seeger. Shout out to some of the new viewers of Thursday Night Thunder as well. So far, so good. At the front, Jacob Bradley still leads by a couple of tenths, but the 3rd place battle now getting a lot closer. Let's ride on board with Noah Belleville. Well, never mind. Let's go on board with Matt Seeger. He's now in the 3rd position. We're going to be trading positions like this all race long. Belleville again just dips to the inside, back and forth between these two, using up their tires, using up their resources. Meanwhile, Briley Wright comfortably in 5th. He's got a good gap over Evan Pienta in the 5-5 behind him. And let's give you a rundown of the field here. Belleville to the inside once more. He wants that third position further on back. Chuck Sweeting in the 5-7. He sits in 10th to the inside of Tom Sears. They're going to battle back and forth for that position. Bren Roberts, meanwhile, just trying to get to the inside or outside of Ethan Winters. Tony Caputo in the 19. Well, again, being scored as the 19 in the incorrectly numbered 27. We'll go ahead and fix that one as well, but he's going to slide out of turn number 4 and the Castrol GTX machine. Now trying to rejoin the racetrack. Donald Ray in the number 5. How about that for a paint scheme? There we go. That's what we're looking for. The pride of Rockwall, Texas. In the Western Auto Parts America. The Chrome Western Auto Parts America car, by the way. You love a chrome car. And you know, Darrell Waltrip drove he loved a chrome car as well, and he loved chrome numbers. Whenever I see the Western Auto Parts logo anywhere, I think of that Darrell Waltrip 17. One of our rookies this season in the number 97 Sharpie machine, Jacob Renneker, running in the 17th position. He's up 4 places from where he started, and behind him, not only one of our veterans, but one of the first ever Thursday Night Thunder winners from St. Augustine, Ricardo Catania, sits ahead of Georgia's Cody Pennell in the number 21 Motorcraft Ford. You got his cousin behind him by way of Good Hope, Winston-Salem and North Carolina's very own Ryan Pennell. Rounding out the top 20. Austin Mongold and Elridge George swapping spots, but that's because Chesapeake, Virginia's Austin Mongold is coming into the pits in the number 92 Caterpillar machine. And he's just going to come to a halt there. We'll see if he's going to call it quits. His car just vanishes into thin air, and that might be the race for Austin Mongold. Meanwhile, at the front, we've had a lead change. Aaron Edwards in the number 15 Unified car goes to the front, and he's right now carrying the flag for Delta Sport. Shout out to Brian Voris as well, one of the Delta Sport reps in here, and a native Virginia as well. Miss Moneypenny, saying Ryan Pennell's from Winston. Yeah. Yup, Ryan Pennell is North Carolinian, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, by way of Good Hope, Georgia. And how about this, Nick Pressey getting into the wall. Ethan Winters now coming up behind him. Tom Sears now getting up behind all of this. Let's go on board with the 14. It's a zoo out there, isn't it? Two-time Thursday Night Thunder champion, Southampton's very own Tom Sears. Evan Pienta's incorrectly numbered double 5 reflecting off the North Carolina sun. He's on the outside of Brent Roberts. That's for the 8th position. K555, Brian Voris. Matt Deschaines was in this chat earlier today. Shout out to Matt Deschaines. Steve Bradley, Trauma, another fan of the 16. Dustin Painter was in here earlier tonight as well. Shout out to the man Dustin Painter. Also from Winston-Salem. Got a lot of North Carolinians in the house tonight. Let's go back to that pass for the lead. This is Aaron Edwards in the number 15. He gets around the outside of Jacob Bradley. And Delta Sport TV, now a new follower of Rick James TV. Love to see it. Jacob Bradley doing it the hard way, around the outside, and he is your new leader. He's got a 1-second advantage to Jacob Bradley. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, 8th, 9th, 10th up for grabs between Roberts, Pienta, and Winters in the Unified Potential. Number 10. Matt Seeger in another one of those UP Delta Sport cars on the outside. Briley Wright in the all-too-familiar number 3. And there's a story behind this one. I think Dale Earnhardt has been eligible for the Winston Million plenty of times, but going into his, what would be his 75th win at Talladega, I don't know that Dale Earnhardt had ever won the Winston Million. So as the story goes, spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen the race 25 years down the line, Dale Earnhardt ends up winning his first ever Winston Million in this iconic black number 3 with the red number, and spoiler. And the helmet from that 75th win, I believe, belongs to Tony Stewart. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Someone can correct me. But I think Tony Stewart still has that helmet. And at first, I think the story goes, Tony wouldn't take it, and Dale insisted that Tony Stewart have his 75th win helmet. Of course, this is all off the top of the head, so if I'm wrong, someone please correct me and let me know what the right story is. But anyway, this car itself, the black number 3, is a legendary paint scheme, not just in NASCAR, but in motorsport. But it gets a little more special when you learn the story behind Dale's 75th win at Talladega. Green flag pit stops underway, 44 laps into this race. Talking with drivers in practice, they were discussing pit strategy. Drivers can make it approximately 45 to 55 laps on a fuel run, depending. Some drivers are going to choose to go 42 laps and run out of fuel right at the end of the race. Some of these drivers are going to go to 52 laps, 53 laps, and try and just go like a bat out of hell for those last 15, 16 laps on a run. We'll see what strategy prevails, but it looks like Ron Edwards is trying the long run. 46 laps on this run so far. Defending champion Jacob Bradley in the number 50 sits in second. And Georgia's Matt Seeger is in third. Does Seeger come in? He stays out. Chuck Sweeting, Brent Roberts swapping spots. One Charles Sweeting goes to the outside. He's up 7 places from where he started. How about Donald Ray trying to split the difference in that chrome Western Auto machine? Right up the middle. He runs in 17th, a couple of laps off the pace, obviously because of green flag pit stop cycles, but talk about fresh tires, talk about a fresh move. What did DW say so many years ago? He's got some fresh goodbyes on that race car. Trying to make hay while the sun shines. Chuck Sweeting now trying to work his way around Ethan Winters. Let's go on board again with the 5-7. Trouble for the rookie, Evan Pienta. Let's see what happened to him. This is his Thursday Night Thunder debut. And the mitten driver from Lambertville goes off the racetrack. He's going to rejoin. Rookie Tony Caputo. He also went off the track earlier. Let's see what happened to him. This would have been on lap 29, so quite a while ago. And then we see Briley Wright had an incident as well. Noah Belleville, by the way, just went quick as 23.73. We'll see what happened to Briley. This is just coming out of the pits. And he takes the number 3 for a spin. Someone needs to tell Briley they haven't used the backstretch pits down here in quite a long time. Maybe he just wants to visit it for nostalgia's sake. Team Money asking how many cars started. 26 registered. And 21 still running at this time. Elrich George, John Honeybrink, Austin Mongold, Jeremy Brio. All the drivers that have retired thus far. Our 21st driver is Colin McDonough. So he's just on the outside of this here. Noah Belleville, on the other hand, 4 laps off the pace. He pitted on lap 52. What did we miss with car 41? Did he come down again? Was it a speeding penalty? That would be just terrible for Belleville, who started off this race brilliantly. Ethan Winters is in the pits. The unified potential machine will come to a halt. Aaron Edwards is also in. The leader is in. Jacob Bradley will stay out. He's on his 55th lap. Jacob Bradley. We'll see if he decides to come in this time by. You know who's also staying out? Bren Roberts. Bren Roberts is a bit of a dark horse, because if you don't keep your eyes on him, the next thing you know, he's going to be up there fighting for the lead, and you're going to be caught thinking to yourself, where did he come from? Bren's now going to bring the number 84 down into the pits, and the Maryland pilot will try to bring it down to speed here. And sounds like we got an echo. Thanks for the heads up, Miss Moneypenny. I appreciate it. We'll see if that fixes it. Bren Roberts comes to a halt. Jacob Bradley still out. And here comes Noah Belleville. Don't want to bother him, but I do want to find out how he ended up 4 laps off the pace. And there's a big wreck right there. Briley Wright, Noah Belleville. Huge contact, but we stay green. They make it through. No crash at all. Big, heavy contact, but everybody makes it through. Wow, that was wild. Let's go back 1 full lap here. I want to see just exactly what happened. This is a couple laps prior. We'll see if we can speed this up. But Briley Wright just gets right on top of Noah Belleville. And obviously, I don't think Noah meant to get up there, but you can see that Noah was trying to get around Briley for quite a while. We'll have to go back here and try and find out what exactly happened. What we know right now is that Jacob Bradley has the entire field under his spell, and Jacob's trying to make this on 1 stop. He has to at this point. He's gone 58 laps on this fuel run. Noah Belleville was telling me earlier, if there's one guy that can try and make it on 1 pit stop, it's going to be Jacob Bradley. Aaron Edwards in the 15. Coming out of turn number 2, Jacob Bradley just entering turn number 3. Bradley still staying out, and the mark for him is going to be lap 64. If he can make it, well, 62 at a push, 63 he should be safe. If a caution comes out, that genuinely could change everything for Jacob Bradley as well. Glad to hear the audio issues have been fixed. There's Aaron Edwards right there coming out of turn number 4. There's your race leader, Jacob Bradley. Bradley Wright trying to avoid some contact from Josh Gaiman in the 6-1. Noah Belleville working behind Cody Pennell on the outside. He's into the wall again. And I'm going to try and actually bother Noah Belleville here and find out how he ended up 4 laps down. I'm going to bet that it's a speeding penalty, but we'll see what's up. Noah Belleville, Rick James in the house. Just quickly wondering, did you catch a speeding penalty? How did we end up 4 laps down?
Yeah, I got it on the exit. I hit the gas too soon coming out of the pits.
Well, hopefully some cautions will help you shore up, buddy. Thank you. Thanks for letting us know. We're going to let you get back to work. So, there it is. Spinning coming out of the pits, and not the only driver to do so, but it does prove that he is human after all. That dominating Season 9 performance that led to a championship. Just shaking the rust off in the second round of competition. He gets in the wall again, and that's probably my fault. I'll take responsibility for that one. Sorry, Noah. He's going to grind off at turn number 4. Cody Pennell's probably wondering what in the world is going on. If you just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. Caution-free so far, 63 of 125 laps complete. Aaron Edwards is your race leader. You see now by the gaps on the left-hand side of your screen that Jacob Bradley has come into the pits on lap 61. 61. So what that tells you is that quick math will tell you Jacob Bradley can make it to about lap 122, 123 if he saves, and he's going to need to be slower or more conservative on this stint. Then he'll need to be on those first 61 laps. He's going to need to find another 3 laps of fuel than he was already saving. We'll see how that works out for him. Meanwhile, at the front of this race in the Unified Potential 1-5, Aaron Edwards leads the show. He's got a 7.2. 7.2. Now 7.3. Second gap back to Fort Valley's Matt Seeger, who has a quickly approaching 2-time Thursday Night Thunder champion hot on his heels. Tom Sears in the 1-4 Interstate Batteries machine. This paint scheme I love. And I can tell you with almost certainty that this paint scheme did not run on a Monte Carlo, but it ran on a Pontiac Grand Prix in the 2001 Pepsi 400. That was a magical race for a million reasons. But this paint scheme ran in July in 2001. And then I think in October of 2001, Bobby Labonte then ran the Coca-Cola Polar Bears paint scheme that he flipped, I think, at the very end of the EA Sports 500 that year. So another great paint scheme. But that's just me. I just love seeing the retro paint schemes, and this is we love our nostalgia in Thursday Night Thunder. Gen 4 cars, Gen 4 rules. Chuck Sweeting with a loud, bold, blank 5-7. Up 7 places from where he started. He sits in 4th. Ethan Winters is up 14 places from where he started. Shout out Fry Dog in the house as well, representing the West Coast. What's going on? Battle for the 14th position. How's this for a nostalgic sight? Briley Wright in the 3, Richie Catania in the 24. Let the pictures do the talking. .73 laps underway of the scheduled 125 at Rockingham. Briley Wright in the 14th position. He is 2/10 behind Kevin Feenstra in the 1-7. The man from Van Buren, Indiana, holding off Briley Wright in the Intimidator's number 3. Matt Seeger in the 2nd position, just trying to clear the lap traffic. They make way, but the Georgian won't have it easy. Briley Wright tucks in behind Matt Seeger, and he's going to ride that around Kevin Feenstra. Richie Catania will also take the left-hand side and try to run that train on the inside of the 17. 3 in the 24 just won't sneak by. You see the hands in the DuPont machine just slide to the left. Kevin sliding right around Richie Catania. did not get a good entry into turn number 1. And you see just how devastating it can be for a lap when you have a terrible entry into the first corner. Richie entering really low into turn number 1. It just set him for a terrible exit out of 2, which kills the speed down the back straight, which hurts the entry into 3, and it affects your entire lap. Kevin Feemster now decides he wants to ruin his lap by grinding along the safer barrier in turn 1. He's got Catania behind him. Now to the left-hand side, trying to avoid Chuck Sweeting. Feemster's in the wall again. That does not sound good. Oh, the car is not turning for Kevin now. You can just see it slides right into the wall. He avoids Jacob Bradley. He's going to have to bring it down into the pits. So a good opportunity for Kevin to get something fixed up, maybe get some tires, some fuel, and pray that a caution comes out. Frydog asking about Jake Reneker in the number 97. He runs in the 19th position with a bit of a blink, but the Sharpie machine continues to stay strong in the top 20. Noah Belleville, on the other hand, looks like he's decided to call it a night. He's no longer running after 71 laps. Colin McDonough rounds out the top 20. Richie Catania finds himself what was 0.3 of a second ahead of Donald Ray, who's now come down into the pits. Chuck Sweeting, on the other hand, he's in a tight battle with Ethan Winters in the Unified Potential 10. And Jacob Bradley, the man who went 61 laps on fuel. We predicted up to 55 laps. Bradley went 61 laps on fuel. How about this for a paint scheme? For those that recognize the logo on the front, you would say that that's Skip Barber. But have a closer look. The car says Jacob Bradley Racing School. So he came into this race with quite a lot of confidence to put his name on that Skip Barber livery. And we'll see just what happens here. We'll see if he takes these guys to school. 4th and 5th up for grabs. Chuck Sweeting, Ethan Winters. Ethan Winters now into that 4th position. He is up 16 positions from where he started. He's driven an unbelievable race thus far. One of 3 Delta Sport cars that we mentioned earlier. Winters in the 10. Matt Seeger in the 16. And race leader Aaron Edwards. So Delta Sport running 1, 2, 4 with a little bit of Bren Roberts just for seasoning in the 3rd position. Jacob Bradley says that party's over. The defending champion in the number 50 car has now reached Ethan Winters in the 10. This is the fight for 4th. Into him, put the clutch in. Jacob Bradley is saving fuel. Watch the revs on the car. You're going to see the needle just drop. Bradley's saving as much fuel as possible. .40 laps to go for Jacob Bradley. Remember, he has to save an additional 3 laps. He went 61 laps on that first stint. He must go 64 to make this race on 1 stop. It is unbelievably impressive how quickly he can go while saving this much fuel. It's really, really impressive. Chuck Sweeting now wants to take advantage of the shaken Ethan Winters, and he wants to get around for that 5th spot. The 2nd cycle has started. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey has decided, I want to come down into the pits. Tony Caputo in the incorrectly numbered but beautiful number 27 Castrol Machine will take the spot. Cody Pannell, Richie Catania have also decided to come into the pits. grab some sustenance for their race cars. Josh Gaiman decides he's going to dip in. Jacob Renneker is motionless in the Sharpie machine. And still at the front of this race, Aaron Edwards in the Unified Potential 15 is the Pied Piper of Rockingham, while the sun sets behind turns 1 and 2. The defending champion might have a thing to say about that. Inside the final 40. Last time around, Jacob Bradley 24.96, Aaron Edwards 24.93. The Henrico, Virginia native, just down the street from Richmond Raceway. 10 seconds ahead of Matt Seeger. This is what that number translates to over the last 5 laps. Is that Matt Seeger is losing about 0.2 a lap or more to Aaron Edwards. Let's bring Brent Roberts into the mix, who's now decided to bother Matt Seeger for the silver medal slot. And across the line, Brent Roberts was catching Matt Seeger, caught Matt Seeger, and now attempts to pass Georgia's Matt Seeger, who's grinding up against that wall. It has been a lightning quick 91 laps just outside the final 30. And I honestly did not expect this race to go green this far. I expected this to be a huge challenge for these drivers. Brent Roberts on the left-hand side of the 16. Second place up for grabs. Roberts looks left one more time. Roberts goes to the inside right into turn number 1, but is he going to make it stick? Matt Seeger says no. And how about Jacob Bradley, who's going to force the issue, or will he? Bradley looks to be pinned right there. But how about this? Bradley on the outside of Brent Roberts. Will he make the move around Seeger as well? He'll get Roberts, but he'll have to wait on Seeger. 31 laps to go next time by. The defending champion puts his number 50, Jacob Bradley, Racing School Chevrolet, to the inside of the red unified machine. Sparks fly into the air. Jacob Bradley bounces off of the goldenrod line on the port side of the racetrack, and he now takes over the secondary position. The champion came to play. Keep in mind, Jacob Bradley is trying to finish this race without pitting. He's trying to go 64 laps on this tank of fuel, and listen to how he's doing it. You see the red needle going all the way down to 0. He's pressing in the clutch, giving the engine a break, saving fuel, all the while being the fastest car on the track. But for one driver, Bradley in the 5-0. Over the last 5 laps, has not consistently been catching up to Aaron Edwards. There you see, for a couple of those laps, Bradley catching up by 0.2, 0.3. Now over the last 3 laps, Aaron Edwards has been consistently quicker than Jacob Bradley. He leads this race by 11 seconds, but keep in mind, Aaron Edwards has to pit. Edwards came in on lap 53. Quick math will tell you he's due to come in on 106. Ethan Winters is now into the pits. He's going to give up that sweet top 5 spot, and the Ohio native will get tires, fuel, and anything else he needs. Brent Roberts just put in his personal best, 23.9 seconds, and behind them. That wasn't Cody Pennell. Who was that with a slide out of the corner? Ryan Pannell and Evan Pienta separated by a few tenths. Tires starting to wear, drivers going to slip and slide around the racetrack. All of this fuel strategy means absolutely nothing if a caution comes out. Everything gets chucked out the window. Which, if you're a neutral, or if your driver's in the back, sure, why would you not want to see that? Flip a coin. We got a quarter left. Aaron Edwards, with 25 laps to go at the Rock, sits ahead of Jake Bradley by 11 seconds. You can hear how hard he's pressing in that clutch, even on the straightaway. They're running identical times, Bradley and Edwards. And I think if Bradley just runs enough identical times, he won't have to come in again, and Aaron Edwards won't have enough time to catch him. Have a look at the tack. Look at the way the needle just drops to zero while he's on the front stretch. He won't pick it up again until he's in turn 2. Watch again. On the backstretch. On the backstretch. Are you kidding me? Jacob Bradley is now your new race leader, silently passing Aaron Edwards, who comes into the pits. 23 laps to go. Edwards decides to go the distance. Emily saying we need some races without fuel saving. It happens too much and it makes it predictable and less fun to watch. I agree. I 100% wholeheartedly agree with you. Nobody expected Jacob Bradley to go 64 laps on a run. It just wasn't feasible to any of us. If he can make it, again, he pitted on lap 61. If he can go the distance, if he can go 64 laps on fuel, something has to be said for his driving strategy and the way he can do it, because we don't ever intend for these races to be fuel run races, but Jacob Bradley is so talented at fuel racing that it only it isn't a thought. We don't think it's possible until he does it, you know. So he's really making the most of it. Meanwhile, Chuck Sweeting, 3 seconds behind Jacob Bradley, catching up to Bradley, but again, Chuck has to pit. Everybody has to pit. You know who doesn't? Aaron Edwards, who's 1 lap off the pace. Last time around, he went 23.89. Jacob Bradley, 25.16. It's a 26 seconds the gap right now, and they're running 25-second laps. It is extremely likely that Jacob Bradley just doesn't have the pace to go that distance. While he might be on the fuel-saving strategy, it might cost him dearly. Exactly what the fuel strategy was designed to beat cannot be beaten. Aaron Edwards gets around Jacob Bradley. He is now on the lead lap in the 3rd position. If Jacob Bradley has to come into the pits, it will cost him the race. He knows this now. Chuck Sweeting is on the way in. Aaron Edwards now has to drive an incredible amount of laps here. Currently, that last time around, Edwards was, let's say, 1.6 seconds quicker. Last time around, Jacob Bradley did 25.18. Aaron Edwards just went purple, 23.71. He's put in his fastest time of this race. And there's the difference. Last time around, he was 1.4 seconds quicker. Coming to 16 laps to go. The gap between them is right now 21.5 seconds. Quick math tells you that at 1.3 seconds a lap, man, he's going to get there. He's going to catch Jacob Bradley, but he's got to pass him, and he's got to hope that the lap traffic does not get in his way. Will the 50 run out of fuel? If he has enough fuel, will the 15 car catch him in time? I think for the first time in a long time in Thursday Night Thunder, Jacob Bradley and his fuel strategy might have met his match, but we're going to find out 15, 14 laps from now. Last time around, 25:18 was Jacob Bradley's pace. 25:30 last time around. 23:84 for Aaron Edwards. This is going to be extremely close. We'll see what the clock says this time. 1.42 seconds. The gap is 17 seconds. I don't have a calculator. Well, I do have a calculator in front of me. We'll see exactly what happens. Jacob Bradley crosses the line at 25:26. .27 seconds. This pace is not enough. 12 laps to go. 16 seconds to catch up. I don't think this pace is enough to pass him, but again, the fuel has to last in car 5-0. Listen to the engine note. Where is he lifting? Well into turn number 3. This is extremely close. If Jacob Bradley pulls off the 64-lap run to the end, I'll be shocked. But if Aaron Edwards gets around Jacob Bradley, I'll also be surprised because Aaron Edwards has to put in blistering lap times. Last time around, Aaron Edwards was only 1 second quicker than Jacob Bradley, and the gap is still 14 seconds. It's just not enough. Donald Ray, 0.8 of a second behind Nick Pressey. This is 8th and 9th up for grabs. Caution free throughout this entire race, something that I did not think was possible. At Rockingham, no less. 8 laps to go. Donald Ray trying to put the move on Jacob Bradley. The gap from Nick Pressey. The gap from Jacob Bradley to Aaron Edwards, 11 seconds. What happened to Aaron Edwards? He just stalled. Right now, it's still 1.1 seconds that Edwards is chopping down to Jacob Bradley, but it's just not enough time. What a performance so far by this guy here. But again, the fuel has to last. Have a listen. And I'm sorry, I'm rambling here. Aaron Edwards did stall, as Delta Sport TV in the chat says. The tires said, I'm out. And that's really it. Whoa, there goes the 97. There's Renneker. Renneker's gone around. He's trying to avoid any contact. There is contact there by Tom Sears. There's the caution. Cautions come out at the wrong time. Yellow flag is out. Jacob Renneker, Donald Ray with 6 laps to go at the Rock. This changes everything. This is why we love racing. This is why we watch, because it's not over until it's over. Jacket Ray with a destroyed race car. Jacob Renneker motionless in the pits. Let's see what happened to the 97 on lap 112. Oh, he had help. Matt Seeger gets the lucky dog, even though it looks like Seeger might have had something to do with this. I think it has something to do with Jacob Bradley. We know that because Jacob Bradley's at the front of all of this. We know that Jacob Bradley is letting off a ton. He's saving fuel here. Does Jacob Renneker not know that Jacob Bradley is that slow? Because it looks like the 50 checks up, the 97 checks up, and the 16 gets into him. Let's have a look from the sky. Let's go on board with the 97 and listen. Realizing it way too late. Matt Seeger. One more listen. Let's go on board with the 16 again. And now to Donald Ray's involvement in this one. Jacob Renneker sideways on the racetrack there. Restart's been waved off. I'm stuck here watching replays. I almost missed the restart. Thank God they waved it off. Anyway, Jacob Bradley, Aaron Edwards, everybody except Chuck Sweeting pitted on this caution. Chucky last pitted lap 107. We'll see if he thinks otherwise. Lights are still on atop the pace car. And how about this for a lineup? Jacob Bradley in the 5-0, Aaron Edwards in the 1-5, Bren Roberts in the 8-4, Ethan Winters in the 10, Matt Seeger in the 16. Running in 6th, 1-4-6, running for Delta Sport. Lights are out on the pace truck, and you've got 2 miles to do it. Here's what's up, though. Everyone's got enough fuel to make it. Everyone's got fresh tires. It is straight up Jacob Bradley versus Aaron Edwards. Keep in mind, Bradley has control of the restart. The defending champion trying to walk out of Rockingham with the points lead. The sophomore Aaron Edwards racing for Delta Sport, trying to knock him off his perch. 2 miles to settle this at Rockingham. All bets are closed. You got what you got. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. What a jump by Bren Roberts. Jacob Bradley says, see you. The 84 Best Buy car to the inside of that 15. Cars wiggling, shaking out of turn number 2. Everybody makes it clean and green. Huge line on the high side. Ethan Winters is in the wall. White flag is out. It's a race from here. Bradley in the 50, Edwards in the 15, Roberts in the 84. One more shot. Aaron Edwards has lined up the 50. Does he dive into 3? Does he see a move? Half a mile to go. Jacob Bradley comes back into round 2, looking to defend his title, and he's going to come away with the win at the Rock. Car 5-0 wins race 2. Aaron Edwards in 2nd, Bren Roberts in 3rd, Ethan Winters in 4th, Matt Seeger in 5th. What a drive, what a strategy, and when it really mattered, what a shootout to the end. Jacob Bradley from Mooresville, Indiana wins the 2nd race in season 11. And he's got enough fuel to celebrate, you best believe. He's going to park it in victory lane. We're going to talk to our top three: Jacob Bradley, Aaron Edwards, Brent Roberts. Fans, don't go anywhere. Podium interviews in just a minute. On the podium with our top three, Rockingham always delivers. Let's go to our bronze medalist in the number 84, one Brent Roberts. Brent, you drove a lovely race tonight. I counted you as my dark horse tonight, man. Just every time you're around that top five, you got a chance to come away with that W. You did the town of Hagerstown proud. What more did you need to get further on?
I probably needed a little more pace in the first 10 laps. I was struggling a little bit there, but I knew once we got past like lap 15, I was pretty good, so I was just relying on the late run.
Not a bad run considering that Aaron Edwards and Jacob Bradley were on a rail all night long. Looking at the TNT schedule here, it is a shorter season, but so far you've got 2 races under your belt with the Gen 4 car. Headed into next week's race at Darlington, are we going to see another podium?
Darlington's a tough track. Could kind of go any which way. I hope so. I hope to have some good speed, but we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Unofficially, heading into Darlington, you have the points lead over Tom Sears by 1 point. Let's talk to our silver medalist. Yeah, it is awesome, absolutely. Let's talk to our silver medalist, Aaron Edwards, who came home second. Going back to that green-white checkered, Aaron, what more did you need to get around JB?
I needed to be the leader and not spin my tires. You know, we had a really fast number 15 Unified Potential Sim Shop Taurus, but you know, we had the track position until the strategy kind of just ended, and you know, it just didn't go our way, you know, unfortunately. But just needed a little bit more there at the end, and yeah. Hopefully next week, you know, it takes kind of the same discipline to go fast at Rockingham than it does at Darlington. So hopefully next week we can contend as well.
We'll see you in a week's time from the lady in black. Aaron, looking at the standings, unofficially, you are 7th with 69 points, 1 marker behind tonight's winner, Jacob Bradley. Congratulations on 2nd. Let's go to our race winner, JB. 2 weeks in, and already you're starting to make your claim for the top spot. One thing that I have to know, and everybody's going to know, and I really want you to tell me, were you going to make it on fuel?
Yes, I was going to make it by 2 laps. I was saving.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. 66 laps on a fuel run is you're telling me what you were going to do?
Yeah, my optimal in practice was 70 in that 1 hour session before. So we had a little bit more in it. I tried pushing a little bit more on that run because I had a really slow pit in. So I know I was going to have to make up some time whenever they were going to end up pitting and I was going to lose some time. But ultimately, this Jacob Bradley Racing School car is pretty good. Took him to school today, and I gotta thank Evan Pienta for making this for me. Nice scheme. I know he didn't have a good run today, but at least he's in the league. Got some friends in the league now, and just thankful for everybody else in the league too. To only have 1 caution in a 125 lap race at Rockingham is really special.
Special drive, just a special performance all around. One of these weeks, we're going to find a way to nerf you. Maybe it'll be next week at Darlington. Who knows? But No, congratulations, man. Unofficially, as we mentioned earlier, you're going to be leaving Rockingham 6th in the points. And now we got to ask you, 2 in a row with the Lady in Black?
Certainly like running Darlington. Haven't ran it at all in this car. Actually, I ran 1 lap in this car, and it wasn't the best. So we'll have to figure it out in the 1-hour session next week and see what we can put on.
We'll see you in a week's time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Well, fans at home, that's going to do it for tonight's festivities. An unbelievable run. I had a blast. I hope you guys had fun as well. One thing we do have to mention, we cannot do this without our title sponsor, Drip Diecast and Collectibles. We did not mention them very much tonight. My apologies. But to keep it brief, they are your #1 online store for NASCAR diecasts. Drip Diecast and Collectibles on eBay. Drip Diecasts and Collectibles on eBay. They are your #1 diecast store online for NASCAR memorabilia and more. They've been with us for 10 seasons strong, and they're going to be with us for 11 seasons and until we say so, right? Hopefully. But anyway, shout out to Drip for keeping us going. Shout out to you for having fun with us as well. If you haven't heard, now you have. Next week at Darlington, September 4th, the 3rd round, the circus keeps on going. Daytona, Rockingham, Darlington, Bristol, and then we take a break. Silverstone is what you don't see. Silverstone will be round number 5. This is going to be an incredible season with this brand new Gen 4 car. We're learning every single week, and we're glad you're with us. Until that next race right here, 8:40 next week, please stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you all around the corner.